right, hello everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. Today, we're going to continue our playing of the Pendragon starter set. You can see that in the background, the banner in the background. The Pendragon starter set, and the Pendragon starter set's pretty cool. It has like not a loose leaf, a a truncated copy of the rule book. It has all the rules that you really need. It has a solo adventure that you can do, and then it has whole campaign called the Sword Campaign that it's phasing in and out, and then it has a lot of appendices on how to visiting a foreign court, battles, tournaments, and courtly love. I think has 4 different appendices, so it's a really good starter set, and we're running through uh, the Sword Campaign, which goes from the first year of Arthur's reign in a way, and takes you through the first 3 years. And then I think the idea would be to jump into um, the Boy King, the Great Pendragon campaign, etc. And this kind of goes hand in hand with some aspects of the Great Pendragon campaign, probably not this year in the year that we're going to start playing, but maybe the following year I'll throw in elements from the Great Pendragon campaign if necessary. So they kind of go hand in hand, and we're, like I said, continuing on. Is there anything that when we last left? Well, I'll introduce the players, and then I'll give a summary. So, all right, Amy.
I'm Amy. I play Dame Linnell, and she is now a household knight in King Arthur's court.
All right, and Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen, and I am playing Sir Clarion, who is also a knight in King Arthur's court.
Right, so they did some pretty amazing things in 510. They were there when Arthur drew the sword from the stone in Londinium, and then they went from Londinium to Carleon. And of course, there's opposition to the Boy King, and they participated in the Battle of Carleon there in 510, early in Arthur's reign, where Arthur won, but it wasn't quite a decisive victory. And the rebel kings, the opposition kings of the north have returned to their homeland for now. Right. So there's another couple fun things that happened along the way. During when they were in Londinium, Dame Linnell and Sir Clarion, they prevented the theft of the sword of peace that was pulled from the stone from some picked thieves. They got pretty beat up, but they succeeded. It's pretty cool and heroic, and that's when they gained the notice of Arthur. Actually, before that, because they were one of the first to join with them, because I think Sir Clarion's liege lord, or it's maybe still liege lord. I don't know how Sir Clarion. He'll have to explain. But he was a mercenary knight in the employ of Sir Leo de Grance, so of Camelyard. So as played by Patrick Stewart in Excalibur, if anyone's remembering. So right. And interestingly, as in a segue or a non sequitur, probably, Ciaran Hinds, Ciaran Hinds plays King Lot, who really doesn't act like King Lot in the Melorian tales of Le Morte d'Arthur, so which is interesting. What else it happened? Oh yeah, there was this really fun incident while they were in Carleon before the Battle of Carleon. There's a lot of court stuff that happened in between, but Sir Clarion wanted to be the big damn hero, and he convinced with a beautiful oration a group of young knights, including Dame Linnell and maybe 10 to 20. Like he did really well. He got like a full squad of knights to go out. They were seeing these the outlying villages being raided by I don't know if it's really bandits, but sort of men at arms and others in the army, and they went out and and, you know, gave him the law, I guess, or tried to mete out justice, and it was nearly fatal, but it was ultimately successful. So during the Battle of Carleon, they distinguished themselves well. They took, they have this like love-hate relationship, maybe it's hate-hate relationship now, with the Knights of Gore, who they first met in the tournament in Londinium, and they met him on the field. Again, stole their banner, gained some glory for that. Dame Linnell took a prisoner of one of the Knights of Lothian. They witnessed a lot of cool things and weird things that happen on the battle. And it's been pretty neat. They've met some important characters in the Arthur story. They've met King Leodegrance, like I mentioned. They've met King Arthur, of course, and they've met the enigmatic court wizard Merlin. Anything I missed, guys?
Well, just the little interest that Linnell has now.
Right. So Linnell, and with the help of Sir Clarion, they did capture a Lothian knight, like I mentioned, and put him up for ransom. And somehow, while he was in captivity, Dame Linnell batted her eyes at him. He batted her eyes back. And there might be some sort of interest between these two knights of enemy kings.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it's very interesting, and it is very, I think, definitely very, very Arthurian. There's always this interplay between conflicts between different passions and loyalties within the tale. So it definitely fits with the fiction. So anything else, Sir Clarion?
I think we covered all the big stuff. Did the tournament, did the Sword in the Stone stuff, did all the stuff around Carleon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So
If we
so
missed
right,
anything, they'll have to go back and watch the previous video.
right. So we did at the end of the last session, we did winter phase. And then I don't know if we went through everything like the improvements, but I know we talked about winter phase and what happened during winter phase. But there is definitely, especially when you become like a manorial, you have a manor, you become like a banneret or whatever, a household, not a landed knight, I guess, part of the part of the feudal system. They're not quite there yet. Dame Linnell, as Amy said, was knighted, and they're both her and Sir Clarion are one of those young upstart, maybe some knights might say young knights in King Arthur's court. So household knights. So a lot of things are taken care of for them during the winter, pretty much. They're given, some money and holdings and enough to sort of make sure their squire's taken care of and all that. When they become like actual have land, they'll have to figure all that stuff on their own. There's a whole subsystem in Pendragon for that, and that would make winter phase a lot longer. But this time they just made a few rolls and we go forward. But is there anything left in winter phase that we want to take care of before we jump into the next year in 511?
Well, Dame Linnell, as you know, was brought up to be a lady of the court. So she's really good at stitching. And so she would have done like a handkerchief for Sir James and tried her hand out for a poem. But before she gives it to him, before he leaves out from his ransom, she would be discussing it with Sir Clarion and see if he thought that it would be acceptable to do that.
I mean, I guess it depends on, how far you want to go with this night. And you might be aware that I guess we haven't talked a whole lot about the sort of gender politics of our version of Pendragon. Obviously, Thomas Mallory's version is pretty definitive about who is supposed to be the initiator or driver of any sort of romantic interest. So I don't know how Sir James might feel about that, but if you want to, sure, why not?
I mean, I'm assuming he came on to her because, he's been wanting to teach her better sword skills, things like that. I think Dame Linnell's question would be, should she bother involving Arthur in asking for his permission to let him court her?
Here, by the way, here is the stitchery that Dame Linnell created for Sir James of Lothian.
Mhm.
This is not in the book.
Mhm.
All right.
So you should not get Arthur involved, because the ideal of the amorous relationship as sort of courtly love is for him to be enamored and for you to barely deign to acknowledge his presence, except in the most extreme situations.
So then I should wait until after winter to send the note and the handkerchief.
Yeah, that's probably the way to play that.
Okay, then I will put them aside until I'll take it with us if we go traveling, because if we're close enough and he sends a note, maybe she'll send it out.
Yeah, makes sense.
Lothian is far away, however.
Mhm.
Right. I think, is there a map of, I think there's a map of Britain we can show. And maybe it will show where Lothian is for people if they're not familiar. It's in the north, go north, like up there, like where it says the north. It's up there. And they are down, further down. You guys are further down. Kind of like right there where where the first peninsula meets the second peninsula, right there at that confluence on the
It's
Severn
right.
River.
Yeah, the Severn River,
Yeah.
Summerland.
Yep. So yeah.
And
Okay.
Carleon is right there on the other side of the Severn.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lothian, is basically where modern day Edinburgh is,
Yes.
all the way up here.
All the way up.
Easier said than done.
No, you right. If you go from the O in north and go south, go pan up. So you had it go up. No, pan down. Sorry, pan down. I went the wrong way. Pan down. See, Lothian is there. I forget what estuary that is, but
Well, it's basically right where
modern day Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go back to here. There you go. Geography lesson. There, and we're in Carleon on the Severn River. Okay. So you're not going to send it. You're not going to talk to Arthur. So time passes in the court. Like I said, you are taken care of. And the year is 511. The year passes the start of the new year. And once again, King Arthur holds court at Carleon. And really nothing happens until around Pentecost. So, you go through the Christmas season at the end of 510. It's a pretty hard winter, so everyone kind of stays put. And then you have the Easter season after that, and ending with Pentecost. And at Pentecost, that's when sort of the campaigning season may or may not start, right? So again, it's 511, and Arthur holds court on Carleon on Pentecost. It is not unusual for kings to move from town to town over the course of a year, but it's clear that Arthur really has a special fondness for the city, maybe because he grew up nearby in Powys. Is that how you pronounce it, Arlen? Powys.
It's Powys.
Powys.
It's closer.
Powys. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Although
Right.
it's a little off because the Welsh use a W as like a U sound, so it's like Powys.
Powys.
I guess you'd say. Maybe.
Yeah, it's further. It's further. It's not. It's off this map. It's further to the west. Yep. All right. So anyway, so he spends much of his time here, and now with the warmer weather upon the land at the start of the campaigning season, he's called upon his barons to sit in council to discuss the challenges to his young rule. At the first night's feast, King Arthur rises and gives an extraordinary speech. We are of many lands, but the order of knighthood unites us all. We all, even though hailing from different kingdoms and speaking different tongues, are leaders of men, acknowledged superior to those who are beneath us. We have the same rights in our own lands, and we have more in common with each other than with the commoners that we lead. The order of knighthood is a sacred institution. After Adam was driven from the Garden of Eden, men fell into war among themselves. As a result, the order of the knighthood was instituted by the wise to lead and protect mankind from itself and from outside enemies alike. Since then, fathers have enjoined their sons to the task, and the institution have been blessed by time. So you could look around, and even the traditional rivals like King Lac and Duke Ulfius meet the speech with some approval. Maybe they like that thing about the common. We're closer to each other than to the commoners. Maybe they like that, right? This kind of goes back to the maybe the Roman idea of the patricians and system, and the division between the patricians and the plebeians. I mean,
although the equestrians are technically not patricians,
right? Yes, this is true.
But it's the ideal of a sort of specific order of gentry that also has a monopoly on violence definitely has a long history. Maybe not quite as long as Arthur seems to suggest, but at least for pretty long.
And I guess I don't know, the way it's really interesting. I mean, I know this is all pseudo history, but the influence did come from this, this belief, this historical event where Rome did leave sort of it removed the legions from Britain, and then Britain was overrun for a time, and kind of in the quote unquote dark ages. Although now and again we learn with archaeology that that's not it wasn't so dark. There was a lot of people movements and all that. It just, unfortunately, we've lost a lot of the literary history because of wars and people burning monasteries and books and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, and even like they go back and forth about how dark it is, because sometimes they're like, well, it wasn't really, right? Like for a long time, people described it as the migration period. And then there was a pushback about like, well, instead of seeing it as like, immense migrations of German barbarians into the territory of the Roman Empire, we might think of them as, because most of them were at one time or another allied with Rome. And so it's sort of
they're
more
very
like civil
romanticized.
wars.
Yeah, they're more like romanticized. Yeah.
But then there's some really interesting research that can't remember the author's name. I'll have to think of it. But he did a really interesting thing talking about basically evidence of the bones of agricultural animals discovered in archaeology from what we might describe as the Dark Ages, under the principle that a cow that is leaner is better able to move around but doesn't produce as much meat. And so if you were worried about raiding, you would have a relatively lean herd of animals so that you could get it out of the way of enemies, versus if you are not worried about raiding, you fatten them up to basically the maximum amount that you could. And basically using this as evidence of the decline in the size of agricultural animals as evidence for long-term expectations of instability versus expectations of stability in the kind of heyday of the Roman Empire is a really interesting way to think about this.
And when they look at soil samples and dendritic rings, in trees, they also have learned that there are some during this century and early 7th century, the 6th and 7th century, there were periods where there might have been, they speculate, there was not a lot of vegetal growth because of the climate. So some sort of maybe volcanic event did cause in the northern hemisphere a colder time period. So there's evidence of that too that is out there. So archaeology is fascinating, but we only have sort of the literary history that comes down from us from oral tradition that finally was written down some 700 years after.
Mostly a lot later. There's little bits, right? Like we have Gildas,
Gildas.
On the rune of Britain, but Gildas doesn't say Arthur's name, and so everybody is confused about what that actually means.
And in fact, like the warlord who actually has a historical name that might have done something, and not even in this territory, but in the north, is Urian. right? So there's a Urian
Yeah,
who
well,
did
there's Urine of
consolidate.
Reged, and
Yeah,
there's
Urian of Reged. Yeah,
Aurelius Ambrosianus is the name that Gildas gives, who in many of the Arthurian stories is Uther Pendragon's older brother.
yeah,
That he is king before Uther, and then Arthur. But then
right.
there's also like Geoffrey Ashe was really interested in this character named Riothamus is the name that we have, who was supposedly some type of British warlord in the time of like the 450s, and who brought a contingent of soldiers from Britain into northern France, and then got defeated and was killed far away from his home country. And so Geoffrey Ashe was like, "Oh, this is King Arthur because this is like the Arthurian. This is the whole thing about Arthur going to Avalon instead of you having an actual like grave somewhere, even though medieval people thought that Arthur's grave was in the city of Gloucester. So it's kind of an odd, how can Arthur have gone off to Avalon and then also have a grave in a real place? But
Yeah, but it's legends and stuff, and what
Mhm.
yeah, and there's not a lot of literary evidence except for far and few between, like
yeah.
Arlen pointed
Well,
out.
and yeah, and it's all, I mean, almost everything that we have of like serious Arthurian literature that's not like Gildas, but like all of the stories that we recognize as King Arthur is from much, much later after. And it mostly is a literary tradition that is referencing itself rather than
Right,
having any concern with history.
very true. All right, well, so all that sort of segue from um, after Arthur giving his speech. So, but however, that brings us back to the game, and both of you can attempt an intrigue roll.
Intrigue.
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember where that is.
It's under skills.
Oh, it's not the personality ones.
There it is.
That's a big fat failure.
Okay. All right.
She's not intrigued. She's waiting for Sir James to come talk to her.
Yeah. Well, there is definitely, yes, there is definitely like, as you look around, even though some people meet with approval, as the court continues and you don't hear quite everything. Unfortunately, you're put on other types of duties, but you do hear there's definitely some disagreement among the barons on what to do next. So I guess then that sort of indecision kind of leads to some sort to kind of Arthur staying here. Merlin is here with the king. You've been in Carleon for a few days when actually King Arthur summons you to his bedchamber.
Okay.
Mm.
All both of you, both of you.
Yep, yep.
Yep. This is the
Gonna
most
say I'm not going alone.
yeah, I mean, not weird or at night or anything, but just while you're on duty and going about your duties as household knights, you're trusted knights and have done some great deeds for young knights, such as it is. So, plus you're also the main characters in this tale. All right.
Mhm.
So, it's a very private place in the castle, so it does maybe like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And going there means that something special might be going on. You pass several guard posts, and each of which the soldiers ask you your names, where you're going. After hearing the facts, they let you pass. So you get to the chamber, and Merlin is here with the king, no one else. And seated at the edge of his bed in his regalia, which is a little odd too, King Arthur explains that he needs some brave knights to cross hostile territory, secretly if possible, bearing a message to King Leodegrance Camelliard and Sir Sanam Count Bedegraine. I have chosen you to take this task, uh, says King Arthur. I mean, whether you believe he's chosen you or is this actually a command? We'll supply you with some of the best and fastest horses you have. You're to deliver my message and then return to me with whatever responses the king and the count give you.
Well, I think Linnell would get on her knees and hold her sword in front of her and say, "As you wish, my lord." Majesty.
Right. So Clarion.
Yeah, absolutely, Your Majesty will leave right away.
And Merlin opines on the best route. He says, every hill tribe in Cambria is hostile, so passing through the back country is out of the question. The forest of Jean and Ying is far too ERGYNG. How do you pronounce that, Welsh scholar Arlen? Ergying?
I guess, yeah.
Is far too dense and far too dangerous to risk going through. Meanwhile, King Lot may begin his march south at any time and will take the main roads. If you run afoul of Lot's advanced scouts, there's a chance they might recognize you because of you know, how you performed at the battle. I've heard stories, or maybe I saw, you know, I'm everywhere. Yes, please, you know, if the King of Lothian scouts take you, they perhaps could kill you. You know, and that would include some torture. He is not a nice person. Yeah. Okay. So Merlin suggests strongly that the final route chosen is to stick to the rivers, first going to Glevum, then riding up the valley of the River Severn into Galvois. Right. So Camelyard, Bedegrain, and Lambar all lie along the northern border of Logres, one next to the other. I will switch maps to you so you can see the path. All right, let me do that real quick. So this
I will make sure that I tuck the handkerchief I made for Sir James in my pocket, because if he does come up to us, we could always say I was just trying to get a hold of him.
All right, that's true. So I will. Yep. And I should also bring you guys over, your tokens over. I can find them. There they are.
She will definitely ask Sir Clarion if she should also bring the letter just in case, or give both at the same time.
I mean, I guess you might as well, right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, so there's some more to this as well. So once you're in Galvois, it has been arranged, or we have sent messengers that, and hopefully this works, that Knights of the Kingdom will meet with you and take you to the king. You are to say that you have gifts for the king from Arthur, who wants to make peace. Do not engage in diplomatic debate. Just present the gifts and speak well of King Arthur and the king of Galvois. Afterwards, you go further up the Severn until you reach the forest of Arden. From there, go through the forest and to the northeast and enter Camelyard. I have gifts for Leo de Grance as well as a message, and then continue on until you meet the River Trent, cross to its northern side, and continue downstream to the River Derwent. Travel up that, right, to the Castle of Doves in Duffield, where the Count has promised to meet you. You are to deliver a message to no one but the Count, or one of his main men, the Marshal, Constable, Seneschal, or Chamberlain, and then come back the same way, or return the same way you came.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, and he tells you, he does give you he doesn't give you like a physical message. He gives you the message to memorize. This is Merlin speaking, it seems. Arthur's kind of sitting there nodding his head in agreement.
What message are we supposed to give?
My good sir, we have knowledge that King Lot and his allies are marching hastily to attack us. If you would prove your loyalty and yourself to us, then prepare to meet us at Lambar, from whence we march north to engage Lot's armies in battle. He said, and then Arthur interjects and says, you have 3 weeks. You're moving in 3 weeks. So you're to proceed as quickly as possible to your destination, deliver your message, and give these potential allies enough time to muster their troops and march.
As you wish, my lord.
All right.
I will bow and then keep my head low and exit the room if he's done with us.
I mean, you know by now that the allegiance of King Lear de Grants is all but assured. It's just getting the message to him. So you can
Mhm.
attempt a recognize roll.
Recognize.
Yes. A recognize can be used to recall details about political alliances, famous rivalries, etc.
Oh no, I fumbled that. I don't recognize a darn thing.
These people love Arthur. Sir Clarion, since maybe you were a mercenary knight in Camel Yard, you kind of know a little bit more about the area. This can probably help you as a bonus. Remind me when you're traveling through near and through that area. So you do recall that Count Sanum was once loyal to King Uther, actually, but has since sworn his allegiance to King Lot in order to save his holdings during the anarchy from raids, especially from the north.
Mm.
All right. Do you have any questions then for Merlin or the king?
No. I mean, I don't know if this is a good time to talk to at least Merlin about Sir James or just let it be.
That's up to you. You can attempt an intrigue roll if you're thinking here and want to track down Merlin before you leave, or they get everything ready for you. Either of you can do that.
Pretty certain I'm going to fail. Oh no, I succeeded.
That's
There's
cool.
that's a shocker.
You should put a check, Sir Clarion, on that recognize roll. That's important information.
Yeah, yeah.
And the intrigue is Dame Linnell. Is she Christian knight or a pagan knight?
Christian,
All right.
I would
So
think.
you
I don't
recall,
I don't know where else to look. I would think she is. It says Christian is her religion.
right? Yeah. Unlike Nicole Williamson in Excalibur, this version of Merlin is strikingly unattractive. He usually dresses in a beggar's array of tattered, matted robes, much like you saw in Londinium. And some people say he smells. Um, whether you believe that or not is up to you how close you've gotten to him. So you made your intrigue. So you succeed in recalling tales that a demon of the air begat him upon a princess of Estragals. Maybe that's why you know, because you are originally from Estragals. And only the timely intervention of Blas, the prince's confessor, saved Merlin from damnation.
Hmm.
Whether that is true or not, well, all right.
So I just know that, but I can't talk to him.
Oh, you can talk to him. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, she
I'm
would
just
tell him.
letting you know what you might know.
Mhm. I mean, she would say, as we are, I guess you could say, somewhat brethren from the same lands, because that's the lands I hail from. I feel it's only pointed to tell you that there may be an interest between Sir James and I don't know that it's a good thing to bring up to the king now, but I feel as though if it comes to it, I should make sure somebody here knows, other than just Clarion and I.
Well, he says, some secrets are better kept to yourself, even from your king.
And I agree, but being a lady of the court and raised to not keep secrets, I felt as though I should at least let you have the information to do with as you please.
He shrugs his shoulders. But were you not raised more by your squire than in any court? Dame Linnell, you are what they call in modern times a Tom Robert.
Perhaps, but we could use it to our advantage.
He says, well, I could tell you if you could, but I have sworn that I cannot.
And I understand.
All right.
But if he comes up to me, it is not my intention to turn him away.
I would just remind you, as I said, King Lot's people are dangerous, very dangerous.
I would love to bring Sir James here. I feel as though he would be a good knight to serve our dutiful lord.
He shrugs his shoulders. Who knows? Where the
Only the
wind, who
gods.
knows where the wind will blow
That is true. I
in
thank
the
you for
hearts
your
of men
I
and
thank
women.
you. Yes, thank you for your counsel, and I will return to Sir Clarion.
Yep. What do you think, Sir Clarion? Can you do anything?
I think just prepare for traveling light and fast.
Anything you wish? I mean, obviously your squires are going with you. This is not like you travel in disguise. It's just no one knows that you guys are going. That's why they're not sending glory-ridden, super knights, right? Although they're probably not any right now. But
Well, there's Balin and Balin,
right,
the doughtiest of Arthur's first generation of knights.
right. And then there's King Pelham, but I don't know if he's
Well, he's kind of, he's got some suspect loyalties.
right. Anyway, so so you guys take off. Is there anything special you want to get or bring other than your horses, your squire?
The gifts and tributes from
Yeah,
Arthur.
you're supposed to secure those in Glevum,
Yes,
actually. Okay, which is not so far.
but I would make sure that, I mean, Dame Linnell would make sure that she would bring some monies with her so that she can purchase things in markets if needed to look like she was there on a task for that. And
You mean have your squire go purchase things in markets, as you
Well,
are a household knight?
yes, but we're going kind of incognito, are we not?
Well, right. So
I don't know if we're famous enough to need to go incognito is the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
Like, we can just go as kind of knights on a sort of errantry, and as long as people aren't like, hey, those guys are working for King Arthur, then
right. I mean, this doesn't mean that you should travel in disguise or even with your heraldry covered. Um, you won't shrink away from your appointed duty. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean that hiding and stuff doesn't come until romance and love, and some do disguise themselves or obscure their arms, right? But only at the behest of their beloved. So, anyway, so I should say the scenario will test you and test your knight's commitment to duty and your ability to operate on your own, away from the influence and protection of your liege lord and probably Merlin.
I'm ready
Okay.
to go.
All right.
Well, can we do a quick bio break before we get going?
That is, we could do that. All right. So you leave the safety of Carleon and travel. It only takes you a day, and the journey to Glevum goes without incident.
Ooh.
So here you secure the gifts for King Nim of Galbois and King Leo de Grance and Count Sanum. The regal gifts are a golden jewel-encrusted goblet for Nim and an illuminated gilded Bible for Leo de Grance. They're worth a lot. They're worth a pretty penny. I don't know if there's a skill that can evaluate that or not.
I can look.
If you want to. If you don't care, you don't have to care. But
I think stewardship is used for a lot of that stuff.
yeah, you can roll your stewardship.
I have a 5.
Or if you want to put a check on your worldly, you could roll that, because then one would know, right? Because you're into money matters.
I will try
worldly.
stewardship.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow. Dang, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
Amy, you should put a check on your intrigue because you learned about Merlin.
Okay. I was gonna say,
And with the one, you should check your stewardship there, Merlin.
It's
not a crit, but anyway. All right, but it could be important information, or it could,
Carl,
what?
all of my passions went down to 0, but that's not where they were. Do you remember where they were last time?
No, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, mine have also been updated to 0. I don't know. Let me see. They're probably just called differently now.
Maybe. Well, hold on. All right, so we there's something odd with the player character sheets. We kind of fixed that. It seems that the passions were all reduced to 0, but we have in the end, Amy noticed that, so we paused and fixed it. So when you left, Arlen had rolled for Sir Clarion an amazing success on his whole 5 of stewardship. So you kind of evaluate these things, and the gold encrusted goblet and the illuminated gilded Bible are each worth 15 pounds.
Ooh.
And then Count Sanum's gift is a fine bitten bridle of silver and tooled leather worth 5 pounds.
Guess
I
he
mean,
doesn't like him as much.
your annual upkeep is 4 pounds, one of which you maintain your squire and your horses. And so these are very rich gifts indeed.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. How does that make your character feel?
Mine was raised in the court, so to her it is a token of appreciation. The more expensive a gift is, the more loyalty is expected in return. So I think she would think nothing of it.
Okay. So Clarion.
Yes, pretty classic. This is what the nobility and especially the kings do. Spend more money on a gift than than a peasant is likely to see in their entire life.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So you meet with you here at Glovem, you meet with the appropriate people and then get these gifts. It's uneventful tonight, and the next morning you head north,
Mm-hmm.
passing through Tewksbury. So if you're keeping track of time, it's only been 1 day out of your 21 days.
Okay.
All right, so you cross the river Avon here, and we have the coconuts going tut, 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 tut.
Click, 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 click.
And
Right, Avon is just Welsh for river. It's just the joke
ri-
about all of the river Avons in England.
oh, the rivers, yeah,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that's funny. It takes you beyond the borders of Logres into Galbois. Or I guess that's how I'm pronouncing it. Maybe I'm giving it a French pronunciation. All right. All right. So not long after a patrol, well, actually, you should roll awareness.
Well, awareness.
Yeah. Both of you guys. Oh, very nice.
She's not aware of anything. She is looking at the trees.
All right. So, yes. So Clarion, you hear like horses coming.
So I'll do the, hold up a hand for the column to halt.
Mm-hmm. All right. So not long after, a patrol of what look like knights come into view and seem to intercept you. It's definitely not a martial challenge. And they say, "Ho, who are you, and why are you in Galbois?"
Huh? We are but humble knights
Well,
heading to see our lord.
we're here to see I don't remember, Nim or something
Yes,
like that. The King Nim of Galvois.
And who is your lord?
That would be the rightful king of all England and King Arthur himself. I guess we wouldn't say England, we'd say like Logres or something,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Dame Linnell, you got anything to add?
Well, she would say, the rightful lord of all these lands. And your king should be expecting us. Did he send you to greet us and bring us in? I would be most flattered if that was truthful.
Oh, that's nice. I'll give you a chance to roll courtesy. And let me see. Hold on.
I gotta find courtesy, so it takes a while. Courtesy. Where is courtesy?
It's right there in skills.
Skills, okay. There we go. Ah, she's successful.
And actually, oh, she is? Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, I was gonna have them like scoff at what you said, but they're like, huh, okay.
Do I check it?
Yeah, I think it's important. Also, for what Sir Clarion said, I'll look at a character sheet. I feel that is some sort of personality trait where you kind of defended yourself very well.
Did we joust with these guys?
No,
Mm.
I would say, you know what? Yeah, I'd say I'll give you a choice. You can check valorous or your loyalty to Arthur.
Me?
Would it be loyalty or homage? What's the difference? No, this is for Arlen.
Oh,
I am not sure what the specific. I'll look up in the PDF what it says the difference between loyalty and homage.
in reality, you could be loyal to somebody but give homage to somebody else, like recognition, or
Oh, I think it's homage then. I would check homage then, because it's right. That comes from Sir Clarion's belief, right? As opposed to, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I will check my valorous because it's always good to be valorous as a knight.
Right. Well, I mean, valorous because they came up to you like all like guns blazing, not lances down quite, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just hold and the column and stood there, and then answered their challenge. So, and then Dame Linnell follows up with a very courteous response to this challenge, and they're like, "Oh, okay." We because well, you must understand we apologize for the gruffness actually because you were courteous. They apologize for the gruffness, but you must understand there are spies everywhere.
oh, I hold nothing against you, sir. You are simply doing your job, and it warms my heart to know that you are protecting your king the way you should.
All right, so
I will make sure, if you give me your name, I will make sure that he knows how valorous you were to both Sir Clarion and I.
oh he goes he actually would say, I mean, I feel like this should be rewarded because you guys did do really well here in this challenge. He says he would say, um, do not worry about it. Uh, it would fall on deaf ears to the king.
Oh,
He's a different.
perhaps.
Yeah, that's what they say. It would matter not what you said to the king; it would fall upon deaf ears. He cares not about courtesies and the like, but some of us do.
Well, I appreciate your courtesy, and we will travel on.
So
Please take
normally,
our gratitude with you.
yeah. So normally these nights would be suspicious and unpleasant, but it is pretty nice. And when you get to the great salt pans that turn the local briny water into salt crystals, they line both sides of the road. It gives the sun. They warn you ahead of time instead of having, to put your, I guess you do have visors, not really, right? To cover your eyes, they warn you ahead of time. And do not stare at the salt pans for in this sunlight, it would be a painful glare. So they warn you ahead of time, and they explain about the kingdom is of salt. Say we are also called the kingdom of salt, and not because the king of Nim is a salty lot.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of laughs. So while various other inland localities produce salt, none are as rich as here in Droitwich. It's called the Salt Town. There's a mighty hole in the earth that spews forth gallons of this briny water that the locals collect and evaporate in great salt pans to create our product. It has made us
Nice.
very lucrative. Uh, Worcester is the largest community in the kingdom, and there is located the renowned Castle of Salt. You will see it is constructed, and you do see as you approach, it is constructed of huge chunks of salt rock ground into the shape to create formidable walls that are near impervious to melting rains, they say.
Interesting. Love the architecture.
Yep. And let me see if they warn you.
Was there anything you wanted to ask them, Sir Clarion?
Actually, no.
I'll probably just say something courteous, like, truly the great variety of this land is a boon from the divine, and we are blessed to have a chance to travel through your lands.
Mhm.
And also presumably the food is particularly good here because you can add more salt to it.
Oh, yes, but don't add too much. They warn you.
Yep, you can get
Well,
hypertension from that.
but it'll burn your tongue. That's what they would say.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, there's no really history. I mean, I guess it would be recognized, but you've already checked that. But you got some information about Kingdom Salt. I guess I could give you
Yeah.
a bonus at some point. Okay. All right. Oh, one of them, the one that you were courteous to, probably their leader,
Mhm.
and they kind of talk a little bit amongst themselves as you're like settling your horses. And I say, because you were so valorous when we challenged you, and very courteous after that rude challenge, I will tell you that the king, does not go beyond these halls. Fortunately, horses cannot talk. Probably send your squires away. He says, the king is a runty little man with a great golden crown. He is, we call him the goat king behind his back. Then you will see.
Hmm.
All right. So maybe this will give you a bonus when you talk to this dude. All right. So upon arriving to the Castle of Salt, the guards, like I said, convey the knights along with your gift for the king to the Grand Salt Hall, which sits atop a great motte, some Motte and Bailey Castle. Your squires take care of the horses and all that. But as these guards get their horses taken care of, they give this information to you. Within the hall, you come before the king, and true enough, he is a great runty little man with a great golden crown that is low on his brow, I guess, or maybe he has some sort of some sort of cloth inside to keep it up. A little bit of cloth is coming out. He squints down at you from his throne, stroking his billy goat like beard. Why are you here? He barks shortly. I guess this would be you present the gifts.
Yeah, Your Majesty, we bring um, gifts from the High King of Logres, King Arthur, um, as well as information, a message from the king. And we'll give him, I don't remember, the Bible is for Leodegrance,
Yes.
but it's the cup, right? That's
The
for him.
goblet.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
cup
think
is
it's
for
the
him.
Goblet.
goblet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And there's
And then
something.
the whole, my good sir, lots coming to attack us. You know, can you join us in battle speech?
He kind of he accepts the gifts without a word. But and then he says, almost ignoring your question, does this boy king of yours want to take my lands away? My grandfather fought to take these, and we will keep them.
Hardly. This king is a true believer in righteousness of cause, in addition to strength of arms. And he only wants peace in the land and a chance for virtue to shine out amongst all of the knights of Logres.
All right, so I will give you, you can attempt a courtesy roll to see how this affects the King Nim, but I will give you a +4 because of Amy's previous courtesy with the guards that's filtered through. Maybe he does care.
My courtesy's getting pretty good with a +4.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
All right, great. So both of you, you can check the skill. I think Amy, you already checked yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And both of you get 10 glory. Although the
Nice.
king does seem, and the court murmur, they murmur, you know, these knights are holding themselves. I heard that they talked to you. They were courteous to our knights. And all right, and clearly when the king is very rude.
Can Linnell speak to the king as well?
Yes.
She would like to say that, and the knights that you sent to greet us on our way in were so noble and courteous in their ways. They must get that from their esteemed king, and I appreciate it. And I wanted you to know how wonderful they are.
You know, I feel like he would say something sarcastic, but with Arlen's talk and his role, he's like about to snap back, but he's like, well, of course, he says. But tell your king that this gift is a good start, but I expect more riches and more distinguished messengers to bring them before I lead my high and mighty army outside my borders. Tomorrow, my men will see you back to your kingdom.
Oh, your men can just see us to the trail. We have a journey ahead of us up north. We will not stay and interfere with your courtly ways, my lord.
All right. Oh, so you're going to visit other lords, are you?
Oh, yes. Leo de Grance is the former lord of Sir Clarion, and if we were this close, it would behest us not to say hello and pay our respects to him. As you know, one should never lose their loyalty to their lord.
All right. So he looks at some of his men, he says, go search their goods.
I would assume the Bible and the bit and everything would be in like a bag slung over her shoulder. Or would be with like Patrick and them. They would not
probably
allow
with the
them.
squires. Yeah, with the squires.
Yeah, would not allow them to take that, but they can look.
Oh, so there you feel like your squires would fight against these knights trying to take these things?
They're not for them. I think this is how I envision Patrick, that he would know that these are gifts from the king to go to other people. So they would keep them on their person or keep them nearby, but not on the horses and stuff, hidden.
Okay. Well, I will allow each of you a squire roll, and then because these knights aren't going to be diligent because you were very nice to them and you impressed them. I'm going to have it be a contested roll versus something of theirs, maybe an awareness roll.
Okay, no modifier, right?
No, it's just a 15, and then Arlen, you can.
I
All
have
right,
a
that's all right. You both succeed. Oh no, okay. You both succeeded. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Roll me one of you roll me a D6 or a D3, but D6 divided by 2, but a D3.
Okay, do you want to roll it, Arlen, or you want me to? Oh, roll it.
2.
2.
2. Okay. All right. So two knights go down there, and you got a 3 and a 9. So 2 knights go down there, and they will attempt to search through your goods, but not super diligently. I'll use because they are loyal to their lord, right? I mean,
I believe our I know Patrick at least would hide the stuff, and then when they came up to the horses and stuff, they would step away and lead their hands out like, well, we're not going to interfere, you know.
right.
Is that what yours would do, your squire?
Yeah, I think they're not gonna, start a fight over it or anything, but they're also not gonna leave the treasure out in plain sight by any means.
Of course they don't.
I mean, if they saw anything, they would see her little handkerchief and note in her bag, but I don't think they would do anything with that.
All right, so I'm gonna roll for their awareness. I'm gonna roll a 10 on a 20 for each of their awareness because it's not listed. So, all right. Right. So I think that would mean so 6 against a 9. So and 5 against the 3. Are they hiding different things, you think, or what? All you have is what, the Bible and the bridle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like what we should do is just have one of the squires hides the Bible and one hides the bridle.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the way to resolve.
I would think yours, Harlan, would be holding the Bible because you rolled better.
No, you rolled.
You rolled better.
You rolled
than
better.
Al.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
supposed to go higher?
As
than
high
Yeah,
as
you're trying to
as high
get-
as possible too.
High without going over.
Oh, okay.
So we could have my squire Boron has failed to hide the bridle as well.
Right. Okay. But you're able to successfully hide the Bible.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So it's a very uncomfortable silence, of course, as some time passes, and one of his men returns with the bridle,
Mm-hmm.
and the king says, "I shall keep these. None of the lords up there would accept any paltry gifts like these anyway. In fact, I am helping you. They are more likely to feel insulted. So, I have done you a favor. Tomorrow,
But my lord, that was not a gift for any of the lords up there. We were simply returning the bridle that was fixated for the horse of I can't remember Clarion's lord's name, the previous lord.
King Leo de Grance.
Yeah. It was Leo de Grance's personal bridle. We were just going to return it to him. He had it fixed when it was damaged at the last joust, as I believe you remember.
Okay. Give me an orate.
Oh God, I'm terrible at orate.
And if not, and if you don't succeed, then I'll have to do a deceitful versus honest check.
Okay.
Although actually you probably should choose you should check deceitful anyway, but
well, I have more deceit than I do honesty anyways.
Yeah.
Here we go.
What does Gandalf say in the Two
Oh,
Towers?
I failed my orate, so now I have to do deceitful.
Courtesy in your role has been lacking of late. The Hidden King.
What, Carl?
He goes, well, I mean, it doesn't. I had you check it already, so it doesn't matter.
I can uncheck it.
No. I mean, you're lying, and he looks at you. He narrows his eye at you.
Would you rather I roll deceit?
No, it's fine. It's fine what you roll. Although actually,
so I have an idea.
You guys have been you were very courteous. So actually, you know what? I would have, because you were very courteous to begin with, Arlen. You guys didn't argue when he went to go do this. You just had your squires do their due diligence. I think that would actually make that you would be a success, Amy. Because if I gave you a +4 because of Arlen's courtesy earlier, then that would be a success. You know. So
I won't say no.
All right. So, well, so he's like, perhaps, but it is I guess mine now.
So I'll say what I'm basically trying to do is that since he said none of the other kings would accept it and they would just be insulted, I'm basically trying to appeal to his pride by suggesting that he should also be insulted by the idea of taking something that is so clearly beneath his station. And I'm going to say something like, "Oh, my Your Majesty, I find it difficult to believe that this paltry piece of gold could measure up against anything in your own armory. Can you imagine what all the boors of the north would think if, in keeping this paltry piece, you showed up on the battlefield with it in your horse's mouth, and they all simply laughed at the ridiculousness of a king so poorly arrayed?
All right, give me a courtesy roll then.
Yeah. Courtesy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
No, he's like, be it as it may. I think I like it. And if it was for Leo de Grance, though, oh, you
Well,
made it. And if it's for Leo de Grance, all the better. It's almost like he wants to stick it
Yep.
to Leo de
Yeah.
Grance. But it's fine. I mean, your or it was successful, so and you check your deceitful, so he believes you.
Yeah.
So okay, so he's not going to argue. You guys will get 10 more glory for each of that, also. All right. So he lets you stay there. I mean,
there's no sleight of hand or anything to.
that would be dishonorable to, and you would break hospitality if you stole from this guy.
I was just
Having
trying
your
to think-
squires do their, kind of do that is fine. I'm cool with that. But if you
Yeah,
guys
but
try to
now
have
we don't have the gift from King Arthur that we're supposed to give to Leo de Grance.
Well, that was for Count Sanum is his name.
yes.
Yeah.
Another. So we still have the gift for Leo de Grance. We just don't have
Grants.
the lowest level gift.
I mean, I guess
Well, can Dame Linnell
you can.
to the king ask the question of, I understand that it would make you look so incredibly regal, but is there anything that I could offer to do for you in exchange for the bridle back?
He says, no. It is mine now.
Hmm.
Just, and I say, good day. My knights will escort you back to the river. Well, my knights will escort you out of Galvois, and you will return to Logris.
Under her breath, she will say to Sir Clarion, I never assumed that a king would be such a thief of a yet another lord.
You say this away from him?
Away from him, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's like hospitality. I mean, hospitality, honor. I mean, I'll let you make an intrigue roll, though.
It's dishonorable of him to keep it. I mean, that's kind of
well, he doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
what am I?
It is the
rolling?
privilege of kings to behave against all the expectations that we must follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you can attempt an intrigue roll.
I'm going to continue to fail this for the rest of the game.
Okay, that's fine. You already checked. You did succeed already because you have it checked. So
Yeah, I know, but roll 20 gets into its moods.
it's all right. I mean, you actually successfully and without violence and not losing any honor, hospitality, or whatever. That was pretty smart to get your squires involved, honestly. And you did save the more costly thing.
Mhm.
Right. All right. So the next day.
Are the
Okay.
ones that are walking us back out to the road, are they the same ones that we saw?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
All right. Several mounted soldiers escort you back to the banks of the Avon. But then they say the ford is up that way. And then they leave.
Because I was going to ask them something before they left, before we
You
got
can.
to the road.
You can. It's fine.
I was going to ask them if they have in the market a bridle that is similar to that she could purchase.
They say, no, not here. And they'd say, I would not buy it here if you could find something like that perhaps further north or south. Sorry, and then they look at each other. I mean, back the way you came, and then they'll leave. So basically, I mean, basically they're leaving and not looking back,
Mhm.
so you can do what you need to do.
Yeah. Well, I guess we ought to, use this opportunity to continue on like we planned.
But you can't really go through the roads now. You have to go up through the forest.
Yeah, but that's all right. We'll
be fine.
use our practice at hunting to
Yep.
navigate cross country.
So where did he put us?
Like right here.
Okay. And we're
So,
supposed
so
to be
they so they
going
they don't escort you back to the Avon for one.
Are we supposed to be going here?
No, you're supposed to go you're supposed to go I'll do it this way. Oh, you can't, can you see that?
So this road up here?
But you can't take the road. You have to
Yeah.
go up this way.
But we told him that we would be going up north.
I know, but he ordered you to go back south. But the knights that you talked to and impressed this, on the way through the whole
Yeah,
experience.
they're giving us a chance to go the way we're supposed to go.
Right.
Clandestinely.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna go through the trees, or are we gonna take?
Well, along that through that forest. All right. So this is this is only day 2. I believe.
Well,
He didn't hold you up.
It only took us a day to get up there.
Yeah, it took you a day to get to Glevum and then a day to get to Castle of Salt. And then you stayed there overnight. Right.
Oh, I don't think we would have stayed overnight, would we?
Yeah, we'd definitely stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he
Would
has
be an offense to hospitality for us to have said, we're gonna leave now.
I think I should I mean, that was a pretty mean encounter. I think I'll give you guys, I'll let you roll your hospitality, and if you make it, you get a check, but you're not like impassioned or get melancholy because of it.
Okay. I will roll hospitality. Nope.
Okay. Well,
I had to find it. Hang on.
keep going. Keep going. It's under passions. It's a 50 chance.
Yes.
All right, so you can check hospitality. Okay. All right. So of course it is tricky going through unknown territory. There are no roads and no signs point the way. Maps are like this one, poetic. They're not quite accurate. There's no compasses. So, yeah. Yeah, so you are continuing north, yes?
Yeah.
I would think we would parallel the river till we got up to that footpath where we can get over and back onto the road.
But then you'll still be in Galbois, and if you get caught back on the road.
Yeah. I think we can go. I think the idea of trying to parallel the river as best we can is probably a good idea. I was trying to think if there's any way, but I think we've got too many people and too many horses to like hire a river boat to go up the river. I think we're just gonna have to go over land.
If we come out up here, we're still.
No,
So yeah, the border of Galbois is right here, right? So we just need to get
right
past the border and then we can get
right
back to the road.
Yeah, here's the border. Okay, so the way they're going to do this is but since you are following the river, I'll give you a bonus on maybe a couple of these as you push on. So you can roll awareness, folklore, or hunting, and you can split them up, of course.
Awareness, folklore,
and you can use passions here, your loyalty to Arthur, your honor as well, to both boost these if you need to.
Well, I have folklore is 12. I would think homage to Lord Arthur? or honor? You said I could use honor?
You can use you can use your passion to try to you have to roll your passion, but you can
Right,
use
but
your
you said I
passion to
could use honor.
yes.
So that's one of my highest ones outside of hating
So
the pit.
what are you gonna put it on? Your honor. Your folk. Yeah, if you succeed, it gives you a +5. So
If you crit, it gives you a +10.
Well, we don't have our lances with us, right?
no, I mean it's
Well,
not fighting.
you have to, yeah, you have to choose your specific skill, but you
Yeah,
could just
what
put it on
skill?
folklore. And
Yeah, folklore, awareness, or hunting.
Probably awareness because I'm lowest in that.
But you need to succeed in the skill roll. So if you put it on the highest one, then that could make it
That's
even
folklore.
right.
But what would I be using folklore for?
Well, that's what you're going to do. You're going to be going through the forest, and it's like you're either trying to follow the river, looking for game trails to follow where the game go, or when you come upon the undoubtedly numerous peasant villages along the way, you can talk to people and say, well, which way do I go? Type of thing. So that's what the folklore would represent.
Okay. We'll see if I'm successful. Yay.
Yes.
nice.
Nice. So that
So it goes up by how much?
5.
Folklore 5. Mm.
Do you want to roll now or wait till Arlen decides what he wants to do?
That's up to Arlen.
I guess I'll use my hunting's a little better than my folklore, so maybe I'll use hunting and also call upon my honor to try to use hunting to follow some, game trails and stuff.
Yep.
But I'm going to call upon my honor as a knight to fulfill this quest that the king has put upon us.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Very not good.
Oh no.
You're still mesmerized that that king kept the bridle.
Oh no.
So a fumble is lose 1 point from the passion.
Yeah.
So apparently I'm feeling a little less honorable also.
Pissed you off, I guess.
Yep. We should have.
Is that a permanent drop?
Yeah, that's a permanent -1.
Fuck.
Well, it
That is-
kind of makes sense with we got into the situation because we were trying to be not totally dishonorable with King Nim. So it kind of makes sense to be like, man, honor kind of sucks, right? We should have just, totally lied to him or done something else.
right.
Yeah.
So I got to look at
Honor's gotten us
passion.
nothing.
Passion crisis now to see if it's
I don't think it triggers the passion. The unopposed passion roll is just a fumble is just a direct lose 1 point. Oh, and the game master can choose to trigger a passion crisis.
That's mean.
but it says when the character is inspired or impassioned and fails spectacularly, it's tasked or you haven't you don't know if you're going to fail or not yet. I guess if you fail the mission, it could result in a passion crisis.
Yeah.
So I will withhold the passion crisis at a later date. Potentially. All right. So you can still attempt your hunting though, I guess, or you do awareness instead. If you're hunting, you find yourself all lost. All right,
Yeah.
Amy, so folklore.
Folklore +5.
Yep.
How long does that last?
You made it, so it's good.
Just the one roll?
Yeah.
So I'd have to do it again once we're in the forest?
Well, we'll see. So what are we gonna roll, Orlin?
I guess I'll roll awareness instead of hunting, since apparently I'm not feeling very good about hunting.
Right. Okay.
Nope.
You're not aware.
Well,
All right. So Dame Linnell, would you like to try then hunting?
Another roll?
Yeah, because you haven't rolled that one yet. You get 3 chances.
Okay, but I don't get +5 to this. And I only have a 5 in hunting.
You know.
Hey!
Whoa!
Nice.
Hey!
All right. Wow. So you can check your hunting, your folklore, and you checked your honor.
Yeah.
Alas. All right. That's good. Okay. So the only problem is that you guys are just, you're not lost, and the peasants give you good directions. Fortunately, Linnell finds a game trail, and you find yourselves kind of in the woods somewhere north of the Castle of Salt. And you wander. So let's see.
So we have to be successful on one more.
Yeah, but you already had the 3 chances from the 3 skills, so it's fine. Right. It says go to the next page. All right. So roll me a D3, someone.
I can do that. A 1.
All right. So after 2 days of travel,
That's a try.
you find you've made good time along backcountry paths and game trails of the Arden Forest, and you feel like you're getting close to the boundaries of Camel Yard. You've made a camp in the glade in the woods. The moon is just a sliver, but still enough to see. And I need you guys to make to attempt energetic rolls.
Energetic?
Yes.
Because we're sleepy?
Yeah, you've been walking through the woods.
Yep. I'm tired.
Right.
I'm feeling good.
Yes, you are. Okay. All right. All right.
I think Sir Clarion was resting while I was out talking to the peasants.
Yes. He's like sleeping on his horse as you go through. Just feeling a little down and kind of like, how did Dame Linnell, who's a seamstress, part-time, figure out anyway?
Yep, Sir Clarion taking his depression naps on horseback.
Yep. All right.
Well, at least one of us was mostly awake.
Mm-hmm.
Wake me up if anything attacks me, please. Or
Right.
you're taking the first shift and I have to take the second, one or the other.
All right. So Clarion, attempt for me an awareness roll.
You're very aware.
Well,
Very nice.
only 7.
I'm just saying.
Oh, you failed. Okay.
Yep.
I was being facetious, Carl.
Yeah.
I think we're both getting attacked.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
See how this goes. Might hurt.
I don't like it when you say that.
Oh, you made your energetic though, right?
Yeah.
I did not. He did.
No, he did. So that gives you a bonus. Does it give you a bonus of +2? It did give you a bonus of +2 if you made your awareness. So does that make it a crit?
Yeah, my awareness +2 would be a 9, and I rolled a 9.
Oh, okay. That's a crit then. Okay. That's better. So that means you won.
Yay.
Okay. It says here, if the watch one, okay. Okay. You see 4 figures skulking through the forest with ill intent. As the sliver of the moon glints upon their bluish wood designs and tattoos, and
Oh, they
have
picks.
they have large battle axes. You raise the alarm because you won the opposed roll. You can, yeah. All right. You have enough time to grab a weapon, shield, and a helmet, but I mean, you guys aren't wearing your armor if you're asleep
Mm-hmm.
or even on watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Are these picks?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh,
If they're
I
wearing woad.
like fighting picks.
All right. All right. So it's a Pictish ambush, and there are 4 of them. And I guess they're shocked that you raise the alarm. So they kind of stop in a way. So I guess we can declare.
I was looking because I thought I had something.
Is there enough room to like get on horseback and maneuver, or are we gonna have to fight on foot?
I think you're gonna have to fight on foot because
Mm.
yeah, I mean your horses are hobbled, right?
Yep.
And they're taking everything off of them.
Yep.
Right. But you can
Or
because
square.
you have your weapon, shield, and helmet already.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Clarion. So maybe since you got a crit, it should be a yes and maybe you can like charge one and they're so shocked that you saw them. You get a free attack on the first round.
Mm.
And then we'll go to the regular declarations and stuff. All right, so go ahead.
All right, I will
You
charge.
can call on a passion if you wish.
All right, I will call upon my passion and my station as a knight, because as King Arthur reminded us, the role of knighthood is to be good at fighting, especially in the face of illiterate peasants like the Picts. And so it would be, truly a mark against my station to be defeated in battle by these, dirty woad wearers.
Oh no.
The
You
dirty
were more
woad
sleepy.
wearers may have the day.
All right, you still get a free attack even though it's at -5, but it's also at +5 because you're not in armor, so it cancels out. Right.
All right. Well, arming sword, attack, no modifiers.
Oh, 12 damage.
There we go.
You may knock him down. Nope, you do not knock him down, but you get him pretty good. 12 damage. Yep. Okay. Nice. Yeah, the thing doesn't, I mean, I guess if you again, since you fumbled, you lose 1 to station.
Yep. I'm down to
And
13.
and I guess if you fail this, if you guys lose in combat, you're gonna go mad.
Yep.
I'm just saying. All right, Amy, you're up. So I guess we declare, right? Is that how it works? My guys are gonna come at you.
Yeah, well, I want to call on my passion for hating the picks
Yes.
because I just hate them.
So you're gonna fight them with swords, sword and board, basically.
Yeah,
I
sword
think
and
that's the
shield.
thing to do.
They're fighting you with their battle axes. Okay.
No,
No. You lose 1 point that you just got.
now I'm down to what I was at.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm just, but I can always try again later, right, with a different one.
I guess you can if you fit. You can only. All right. So you're gonna.
Not right now, but
All right. So
yeah.
So how are you gonna do this? You're gonna have 2 on 1 right now.
2 on me.
Yeah. There's 2 on you and there's 2 on Sir Clarion. So do you want to oppose them or do you want to let one get a free strike? And
I'm gonna double oppose because without any armor, although we get a little, right, the helmet's worth like 2, right? The chainmail in this version. Let me double check.
yeah, mail armor and your Akaton is worth 7. It says they're under advanced under Hauberk.
Yeah.
So
You have
what
7 armor.
what am I able to put on?
You grab your helmet. You're wearing your like padding, right? And you grab your
Yeah.
sword and shield. So you have 7 protection plus your shield.
I don't think where do you see that, Carl? Because what I see is we have 2 from the Akaton and 2 from the helmet.
Oh, so 4 plus
So
your shield.
4
plus
plus
the
the shield of 6. Yeah.
Yes,
So
okay.
if you succeed, at least you get your essentially 10 armor, which is basically what you'd have in mail without a shield. So yeah, I think fighting both of them and just taking the penalty, because it's just a penalty to me, that's what I'm gonna do, is double oppose.
And Amy, are you going to double oppose or strike out against one and let the other one get a free attack? Or
I'll probably double oppose. I'm trying to figure out how to figure this out. So
so?
Oh, you've got a little bit better
Oh, right.
arc,
So look
but
under
you're not wearing it.
Akaton. So you're right in the right place. So
yeah,
Akaton is 2, and then
right.
3 for your helmet.
So I
you have
have
a
5 plus my shield.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I have a total of 11.
But
Yes.
you only get your shield if you actually succeed on on an opposed combat, if you succeed but not as well as the opponent, then you get to add your shield to your defense. Otherwise, it's just your armor. So that's part of why we ought to double oppose, basically,
Okay.
is to at least benefit from our shields.
And
So
multiple,
what do
I'll
I
get to
roll
that.
for this then?
So so do you have to multiple opponents? Very good.
Yeah, it's just a -5 penalty for each extra.
Yeah. So you get a -5. So
To
you
my
have a
sword?
yeah, so you have a -5. Well, go to your sword just to scroll up. I'm gonna explain it. Or
Well, I
we
have
can explain.
sword up there
Right.
and I have sword down here.
So the lower sword will also roll damage when you
Right.
roll that one. That's just the advantage of that.
Okay. So click on sword.
Well, well. Do you want me to go through it with Arlen first, and then you can go through it? Because he's
You
probably
want?
gonna do. Huh? Yes or no? Or we can go
If
through
you
with you.
want. I don't care.
All right. So
Yeah,
Arlen,
we'll do here. So I'll
because it's gonna
do,
the
it's
same.
the
It's gonna
first
be the
one.
same procedure. with you.
Yeah. It's the first one who I already wounded.
Yes.
And here's my roll. Succeeded.
Okay.
So we'll have to see what he does.
Right. No he doesn't get a modifier, right?
No, he doesn't get any bonus for gang. It's just a penalty to me.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no.
Dang. Okay.
That's very bad.
All right. 19 damage.
So yeah, so I get my shield, so it's essentially 9 damage through
All right.
with
We'll do.
shield and helmet and stuff.
Okay.
So let me do wound
Our
number
squires
1
better be awake.
for 9.
Well, the squires. I mean, they really don't.
And then that's me down to 20. But that's not enough to potentially knock me down. So
Okay. So okay.
second.
Second attack.
Oh wait, no, it is because it's before armor reduction, isn't it?
Yeah. So roll
So I'll
dex.
roll my dex. Nice. Okay. Well,
So
that's good.
the second guy.
Second guy with my -5.
No.
So that's not good.
Oh no.
I
So
think you dropped your
that's
sword.
16 damage.
16 damage. So that's another 12 damage through because I don't get my shield. No, that's another. Yeah, 12 damage because it's -4 from my helmet and my Akaton, but nothing else. That's 12. So that takes me down to 8 hit points. So I'm almost unconscious again. And now I need to roll my dex for my knockdown. So I'm knocked down and very close to going unconscious.
Right.
Once again.
Amy,
All
it's your
right.
turn.
So I go to sword and -5.
Yep. Is that right? It's +5, but -5, right?
Yeah, -5 for us if we're dual fighting, basically.
Right. But it should have been +5 if you're not in armor, I thought.
Is that? Let me double check.
Used to be.
I don't remember if it's a part of this one or not. I guess we'll need to redo.
Oh, is that true? Okay. Height advantage, horseman, missile actions, modifiers, mounted targets, shielded.
I'm almost wondering if it would be better if I just out and out attacked one.
I don't think there's any bonus for not wearing armor in this
In
version.
this version. I'll check the main rulebook
Yeah.
just in case. Yeah, I guess we'd have to re-roll everything, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we pause?
No, it's fine. This is good to
That's
go
all right.
through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because it was a fourth edition thing that not wearing armor made you better at combat, but it was one of those weird places where it sort of made armor a lot less useful because of how much it was versus
Because I wonder if it would be better if I charged with my sword.
well, the charge attack is specifically charging on horseback.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I can't like charge at them.
There might be like an all-out attack type of thing.
The only thing I see is that the shields that we use have a penalty to weapon skills. But I don't think the armor actually has any
My shield
bonus for
does?
not wearing it. If you're mounted, the shield has a penalty for fighting.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything from armor in here, although I'll check the other
Well, I
book
have a
too.
kite shield. It says it's large, 6 armor protective value, -10 missile attack penalty, -2 to weapon skills when used mounted except for charge. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's just there's a penalty to
Okay.
um
But I don't get an extra penalty for using it right now.
No.
Okay.
situational.
I could start singing. That could hurt their ears really bad and they'll run away. Be kind of funny too. I can't play an instrument, but
Yeah, I guess that's true. There used to be.
Yeah, I think it was in fourth edition that they had the bonus for not wearing armor.
Unarmored.
But I don't know if
can I call on I don't know, not my honor, I guess. Well, I can't do the picks again. But can I call on my homage to my Lord Arthur? That I will not let him down?
Yeah, in the next round, because this round you try to do your hate and it failed.
Yeah, I'm just asking because you're looking things up, so I figured I would
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, I don't see any
I don't see
type
it.
of
Okay.
bonus.
All right.
But I will say, okay, so here's the thing that we didn't do that is a consideration. There's a rule for letting you sleep in armor, that resting while in heavy armor is possible. However, discomfort does come with a cost. Sleeping in mail or plate armor temporarily reduces all of a night's skills by -1 each night spent sleeping in it. This is a temporary loss, and one good uninterrupted night of sleep out of armor eliminates the penalty entirely. Which is to say, since we're not going to be in the forest for very long, we might have been sleeping in armor just to be worried about being ambushed.
So it'd be only you'd only be at -2 then, because it'd be the second day.
Yeah, be at -2, but it would make you a whole lot better armored for the fighting.
Okay.
But we slept the previous night in the castle.
No, we this is the second
This is
night
2
in the
nights,
forest.
2 nights out in the forest.
Oh, 2 nights out in the forest. Okay.
Yeah. So basically it's a trade up of you could lose a little bit of your weapon skill, but potentially essentially be still in armor because we've been resting in armor.
So you'd be like at a At a what? Okay. Figured.
Yeah, so I guess we ought to decide if
In armor.
we're in armor or not. Because it would be, yeah,
Instead
just
of
a minus
18,
2.
I'd be at 17. 17.
So you'd be at starting at
You'd be at your full armor value, you just have a minus 2 penalty to your sword.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you do that, how many hit points do you get back?
I would get, because the male
Is
Hauberk is an extra 6, so I'd get 12 back basically. So I probably would have been doing that.
Okay.
And I don't think that would change.
No, I don't think it'd change any of the outcomes.
I guess it would make, oh, well, one of my arming sword rolls would have become a fail then, so I wouldn't get my shield. So I guess it would only save me 6 points of damage, but
Okay.
that's still big.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it saves you 6 points of damage.
So
And you're not unconscious.
No, he's still
not
on the ground.
unconscious, still
Oh.
on the ground, but in armor and with a penalty now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Linnell, I guess you could do the same, have been sleeping in armor and therefore be a lot better protected.
Okay.
All right. So then the difference is if you attack, if you fight both picks, then your skill is at an 8. If you go all out, then your skill's at a 13. Or if you focus on one and let the other one attack you, then
I would focus on one and let the other attack me, I think. Because
Yeah.
why would I be at 8 if my sword is 15?
So -5 for fighting 2, and then another -2 for the
Yeah, but I'm only fighting one.
Oh, so now it's only
so, yeah, so that's a 13. That's just
the
a
13.
-2.
Just a -2 from the
Okay.
But that's why the sleeping in armor is so good, because now it actually makes sense to only fight one at a time, because without armor it's really hard to deal with them getting a free hit. But with armor, you might be able to shrug it off.
Do I put the minus sign in here?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know there's one of the sheets that I did that and I messed it up. Please be good. No, not good. Failed.
All right. I did the wrong thing.
Hafted.
Yeah, that's their battle axe.
Huh.
11 points of damage.
That doesn't even get into me.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. And no, it does, because you don't get your shield.
Why wouldn't I get my shield? I'm only fighting one.
Because you failed. You only get your shield on a partial success.
But it's she's still got 12.
Oh,
she's
she's got 12
yeah.
armor. Okay,
Yeah.
she's got 12
Yeah.
armor. Yeah, okay, great. All right,
Yeah.
second guy. 18.
But I don't get my shield on this one either.
No. So 6 points of damage.
Are these? I don't put these under aggravated.
No. All right, and then I think that 18 is probably enough to try to potentially knock you down. So you need to roll dex to see if you get knocked down. All right. So
I don't understand how 18 is enough to knock me down. Whatever.
Because what's your size?
13.
So the damage is 18. It's higher than your size, so you can potentially get knocked down. So the first one didn't do anything. Okay. New round.
This one knocked me down, but I'm not unconscious.
No. You're just on the ground, knocked to the ground.
Well,
Is
I was
that
already on the ground.
is that enough to be reflexive minus?
What do you mean by that?
If you're knocked to the ground, I think.
I was standing on the ground.
I know, but I don't know.
Knock me down.
All right, no, it's not enough. Okay.
You said next time I can call on my thing.
Yes. All right. So Arlen, what are you gonna do? They're gonna try to attack you.
I'm trying to see if there's an action for stand up, but I don't see anything like that. Um,
I think you can just stand up.
well, I was trying to see what the setup, what the procedure is for once you get knocked down.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Right.
Um,
If we were knocked down, wouldn't our squires come running over to help us up?
You got to make a square roll, but I think that's an actual action, unfortunately.
yeah, I think that's the thing to. That's probably the way to do it is either because.
It's only important if if you're mounted, because I think you can
Well,
just stand back up. It's only important if you're mounted because you could take damage because you fall off your horse.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, I guess we'll stand back up and keep fighting.
Yeah. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All out, and then that one attack you or what?
I'm gonna fight both again just to try to stay alive a little longer.
Okay.
Uh not debilitated. Okay.
First
You ready
guy.
for me to roll?
Yep.
All right. Arming sword modifier -7. Yeah. Damage modifier.
He beats
All
you,
right.
but he does
He beat
nothing
me,
to-
but I parried
Yeah.
fully.
Yep.
And then let's do another one.
Okay.
Oof.
All right.
Oh,
19
all
damage.
right. So that's another 3 to me.
Okay.
And it's a potential knockdown,
Right.
I guess. So we'll knocked down again.
He gets back. He gets up. He gets back. He gets knocked down. Gets back.
Yep. Yep.
Oh wait. Dropped or broken weapons. Wait. On a tie, you break his weapon, but okay.
Yeah.
Or if he fumbles. Um, you're asking about squires.
I mean, I would think the squires are right there. They would run over if he got knocked down or something.
Yes, you can. You guys, it's a communication action, so you can. Um, at the end of last round, you could have called for your squires to see if they get up. You can both make squire rolls to see if they wake up from the battle, because squires are always tired.
Mhm.
They act like they do something.
Yeah.
Nope, mine's sleeping.
Oh, I've got Squire awake.
Okay. I mean,
That's
I
a
don't know
good
if you
thing.
want to. I don't know if you want to get him in. He can first aid, new weapon, fresh horse.
Do.
He should do first aid.
Well, I don't think he can do first aid like while I'm actively fighting is the thing. So I think I'm just gonna have him, waiting in the wings for whenever he gets a chance to act, basically. Now that he's up, but
Mine's not coming anywhere near the battle. He was quite happy laying down.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I don't know. In past games, I'll let him fight, but maybe if it gets desperate. Okay.
mhm.
Because they'll get. Okay. So Amy, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna try and call on my passion because I can't use the picks again, right?
No.
So I'm gonna use homage to Arthur.
Homage or the other one? One's higher than the other.
Homage is higher.
Okay.
Please,
Come on, passions.
please. Yay!
All right. So you're going to be at like a 20.
Do I check that?
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll
So-
be
At a 20, but minus for having slept in my armor, or I
minus,
don't
yeah, -2 for having slept in your armor. So it's an 18, but if you attack both of them, it's 13 for each one of them.
but
so-
I'm just doing one at a time because
Okay.
trying to do the others
All
gonna
right.
be
So,
ridiculous.
so you're an 18.
So just +3.
Yeah.
Whoops, not equal.
But don't type the plus.
Don't put the
just-
plus. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yay! I
succeeded.
successful. Oh, and I
Oh, I
didn't
fumbled.
I didn't roll the damage though.
Oh, it's
I
okay.
rolled the wrong place.
He fumbled, so he broke his weapon. Or he dropped his weapon. The first guy dropped his weapon.
But it'd be 4d6 is
Right.
the damage.
Right.
So what do I do? Just roll 4d6?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to roll arming sword and we don't look at the numbers on the top, just the damage?
That's fine too.
Which do you want?
Either one. Roll
It's
the
easy.
arming sword. Just that one.
Huh?
That's just clicking a button. Roll your arming sword under attacks.
And do what?
Just roll roll the attack. Roll the arming sword. We won't pay attention to the numbers. We just look at the damage.
Yeah,
13.
13.
13 damage. Oh, it's so close. Right, he
It went away. What the heck?
What? What happened?
Everything went away. There it is. Okay, got it.
That's
it-
weird.
Closed my sheet too. I
So-
don't know what is going on here.
So 13 damage. It was mad that you successfully attacked. So 13 damage.
Possibly.
13 damage. How spry are these picks? I know he's still up, and you got him pretty good. So one's taken 12, one's taken 13, right?
Mhm.
But there's
Right.
it's not unfortunately it's not a major wound, and they're not out.
But if he attacks me, I get my shield too. Because I
Oh.
was successful, right?
No, because the other guy gets a free attack.
I understand that, but if he hits me, I still get the defense of my shield because I didn't fail attacking the other guy.
No, because you're letting the other guy get a free attack.
Okay, because I thought I didn't get my shield last time because I was not successful in hitting him.
No, you got your shield last time. Against the first guy, you got your shield. He didn't do anything to you. Oh no, he rolled so low on his damage, didn't do anything to you.
Mm-hmm. We didn't use my shield because you said I failed.
And this guy
hitting
failed.
here.
This guy failed. The second guy failed, so it doesn't matter.
Well, no, but I'm just trying to figure out why I wouldn't. Anyways, never mind.
Yeah, because it's an opposed roll. It's fine. He failed. Well, okay.
All right. One more round.
Yeah, another round.
All right. I'm going to call upon my homage to Arthur also to protect these treasures that are for Arthur's allies. And
One of these-
hopefully I don't roll another 20.
One of these days you'll get it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Feeling better.
Okay.
Time to, I'm going to fight both of them again, but the +5 from homage cancels out the -5 for fighting both. So I'm just taking the -2 from being tired.
Okay.
All right. -2 on the first one.
I rolled a 3.
Although
Oh.
12.
Is this the injured guy or the uninjured guy?
Injured guy is
He's
the one I was
done.
beginning for first. Nice.
He's done.
He slept.
He has slept.
Struck him down.
Yeah.
All right. Other guy. -2. Modifier.
He failed.
He failed and I succeeded.
16 damage.
16 damage.
That's a major wound. He is unconscious.
Nice.
Okay. Amy, one of yours is injured. One of yours is injured and has no weapon. So you can ignore him because he can't even attack this round.
Okay, and attack the other
Yeah, attack the other guy.
with just +3, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it'd be 18 total.
I will roll the one that has the damage.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, what do
So
I
you
do?
get an extra 4d6 damage on top of that.
He failed too. He's gonna be dead.
So
Okay,
he's yeah,
so
he's pretty much gone.
roll
But
4d6.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you roll higher than 4 points, yeah, he's
Yeah.
gone. So that guy's gone.
He's sleeping.
Yes, he's sleeping. The
And
other the other pict is gonna try to run away because he has no weapon.
Yep. Can we try to run him down?
Can I throw my sword at him? Or I don't know what I can do to get to him.
You can charge him down.
Okay, so roll charge.
Let me see. Let me see if there's a. Oh wait.
Or could I
I think it's so last turn he could have taken evade to try to escape from combat.
All right.
Um
I think at first he was trying to go. I think at first he was trying to go for his axe, but then he saw his buddy get chopped pretty badly, and he looks around. There's there's no one except for him.
Yep.
So he's going. My declaration was he was going for his weapon. So now he's like and he's gonna run.
All right.
You guys can cut him down before he gets to try to evade.
So
Yep.
do I get an attack opportunity then?
More or less, you get free. He's just running.
So do my arming sword with the +3?
Yeah.
And
And
hope. Please be good. Please be good. It was good.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was injured already, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he already took 16, 12.
Yeah. So he goes.
I don't remember how much. He took a bunch.
He took 13. Oh, you killed
13.
you sleep him.
Mhm.
Nice.
Right, with that one. Yeah, you sleep him with that one. There is a prisoner. And I will say, I don't know, because chasing is that vengeful? I'm gonna give you a vengeful check because you could have let him run away. But check your vengeful, please.
Me?
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't let him get away because he's a pick.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But it's still like he basically surrendered. So
Mhm.
Well, he didn't
Well,
look
he
like he
didn't
was
actually
surrendering to
surrender.
me.
Oh, okay.
He just tried to flee.
you cut down a fleeing opponent in the back, right? So
Yeah.
but it's not honorless because they're picks, but
Yeah.
okay. And then there's one there that's alive. So I don't know if you want to just kill him as he's incapacitated, or
I guess we'll probably try to keep him alive so that we can, ask him.
mhm.
Oh, well, I will suggest that we try to keep him alive. But I guess if Dame Linnell is feeling bloodthirsty, we might not do that.
Dame Linnell is thinking, we lost the bridle, but wouldn't giving him an indentured servant be a wonderful gift from Arthur?
I
don't know.
That's a little close to slavery, right?
I don't think it would go over. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely not Leo de Grant's.
No.
Sanum, I don't know. But the bad thing is Sanum is allied with Lot right now. You have to go
Yeah.
there and convince that he's.
Yeah. So, all right. So I'm definitely
Well,
going to do.
Can I ask the Pict, give me a reason why I should let you go?
He will happily divulge any information that he knows about the location of Lot's army in exchange for his life if you let him go.
Well, then.
I mean, he saw you guys cut down his buddies.
Yeah. I think we should do that. I think we should,
Yes.
ask him what he knows. And
Yes. Where would they be currently?
So he gives you the information. I mean, that might come back later in the adventure.
yeah.
But just note that he
Okay.
told you where that could give you like an advantage on battle or something like that.
Pict told us where Leo is.
Yeah. So do you want to do first aid? You have the squire do first aid, or what do you want to do?
Where Leo de Grants is, or where
King Lot is.
Lot?
All right.
Oh, you know what? If you really wanted to, Amy, you could have him give the thing to Jamie and the token and the thing to Jamie.
Oh, the handkerchief and the letter.
Yeah, if he's in Lot's army.
Are you in Lot's army?
Yeah, they were sent here to.
There.
They're like scouts and spies for Lot's army.
If I let you go, would you do me the honor of giving something to Sir James for me?
Because how much will you pay me?
With your life, I think that's worth a lot.
But now you have me to do this task.
I'm just sending you back where you came from.
Why don't I just keep the token?
If you wish, it's a love poem and a handkerchief. Well, I guess if I can't trust you, I guess I will have to cut you down. But I thought you wished to live.
I do wish to live. I will do it. I will do it. All right.
Please hand them to Sir James and tell them that Nell sent them to him.
You do know that there's a chance that this might not happen, right?
Can I trust him?
You will get a trusting check if you just let him go and say, "Yeah, I trust you to do this," because but it might not occur. But there's a risk. There's a risk that he might not deliver it.
What
Well,
do you think? What do you think, Sir Clarion? Because I could easily pen the poem again.
Yeah, I think it's might as well send it on, and hopefully it gets to where it's going.
Maybe I should send just the poem.
Yeah,
don't send anything valuable with the bit.
Yeah.
But
I'll send just the poem with him.
Okay. I think you still get a trusting check.
Okay. And then I'm gonna have my squire do first aid on my wounds.
Okay. You made the squire roll already, so okay, that's cool.
Oh, big one. All right, so that.
And then
Is this one down to 3, and then
can I do first aid, Carl?
Yeah, you can have your squire do first aid. Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh. Yeah,
so
but
I am basically
failing.
Almost back at full.
I am big time failing squire rolls right and left. Whoops. No, I don't want another squire. Want mine to do what he's supposed to. Oh, finally.
All right. So you only took 1 wound, right, Amy?
Yes.
So that he gives you what is it, 1d3? Or what is it?
It's your healing rate, which is probably a 3, maybe a 4 for Linnell, because she has a really good constitution.
Healing rate is 4?
Yeah, so you get 4 back.
So yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, great.
Yeah. My
No,
squire's getting really used to patching me up.
I know, he's really good at patching you up. All right. Well,
do we want to pause the adventure here? Since
we will stop here because
yeah,
you are very close to the borders of Camel Yard, and after that night of picked attacks, and you send that guy on his way to give the poem to Sir Jamie, trusting a hated pick to do so. And actually, the odd thing is the only reason that you did that and let him live is because you failed your hatred of picks. Because if you had a 16 hatred of pick, you just would have killed him. So
yes,
you're a little more merciful, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So far so good. So I want to see if there's anything I need to tell you. After traveling through the woods sufficient to cover oh, okay. No, it only took you 2 days, right?
we are on day 16. Because you said we spent 2 nights in the forest traveling.
Yeah, so one more day.
Okay, so it'd be day 15.
Add 5 days. Does that make sense?
It's counting down.
I'm counting down.
So we spent 1 day to Glevum, 1 day to the Castle of Salt, 2 days in the forest, and so essentially 5 days in.
So 5 more days. Don't add 1 more. Yeah. So 9 days total.
We started with 21 days that we could do it.
Yes.
And so now you're 9 of them now.
9 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. After more travel through the woods sufficient to cover a travel time of 5 days, you meet an old man sitting on a stool in an abandoned village. Okay, this is right. Okay, yeah. You meet an old man sitting on an abandoned stool. So you guys can attempt your folklore. After this, we'll stop.
All right. Do I still get the 5 to my folklore?
Yeah, it's still the same thing, I guess, right? It's still the traveling. Yeah.
I need to step away for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. So +5 to folklore.
Yep.
Successful.
Nice. All right. So you don't frighten him away. He tells you you're in Camel Yard.
We're in Camel Yard.
Yes, Camel Yard yesterday, maybe the same today. Sometimes we're in Logris. Though country of woo, 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 we call it. He laughs. I call the place Old Crackanut, as ye'd have to be cracked to live there. So he's on a road right here at a crossroads.
Yeah. So we're up here. And we're in Camel Yard.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So now we can just get back on the road.
Yes, you get on the road and um
So
because
if those picks found us in those woods, then that means Lot's army is very nearby.
relatively, yeah, it's pretty nearby. Okay, but he tells you, did you ask where the road goes?
Well, yes. Is it safe to go by the road?
Goes, yes, the road. It is it goes north, winds around a few hills and reaches the castle.
And do you think the king is in? Or the lord is in? I guess
Well, it is Lord Hithith's castle, the Carrot Waste, we call it.
and we're supposed to go to his place, right?
Well, it's in. There's a possibility. I mean, it's one of Camel Yard, one of King Leo de Grance's people, so he can be there.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you work for, Leo de Grance?
He says, "Me? No."
No? But is he your lord?
Yes. He goes. He goes like, "I can take you there."
That would be lovely.
Well, not me. My feet are too old. But my grandson, if the pay is right.
And how much does your grandson charge for such an endeavor?
He thinks long and hard, counts, but then he goes like, but then he has to start over. Eventually goes, 10 pennies. That is like nothing.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 15 pennies.
Well, those aren't pennies. Those are silver, right? The denarii are
Yeah,
bigger
denarius
than
is a
pennies.
silver.
So
It's,
you can
it's
give
talking
him
about,
one.
yeah,
You can give
like
him
10
one.
coppers, basically, in D&D terms.
Yeah, you can give him one of those denarii, and he'll be more than fine.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. You give yourself a generous check, and you go, and it's about. But it said you only did 2. That doesn't make sense. All right. Well, I gotta check the day thing and make sure, but it does say it takes you about 2 more days to get to the castle, and then you reach Caraway's.
That'd be 11 days in, giving us 10 days to get back. We're not going to make it in time. We'll have to go straight to the battle.
No, I mean
think
it'll be faster on the way back because you didn't have to go through the woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be like because you took like either a 2. I'll have to make sure about a 2 to 7 day detour through the forest, but it could be less. It could be less than that because it could have been like up to 5 days, just before the ambush, but you only did 2. So maybe shave 3 days off of that, I think.
Okay, so
So 8 days since we left.
yeah,
Yeah.
8 days.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
8 out of 21 days.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's like a 5-day detour through the woods when it could have taken you like a day or two, or probably a
Yeah.
day to get to Caraway's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. That's great. Oh, so for the picked warriors, 25 glory each. So that's 50 glory for each of you.
Yes.
And I guess you didn't lose your way, and you're still on task. So you won't, so far so good for not going mad because of the hunting fumble. And you
Mhm.
defeated those picks, so you don't have to worry about that with that fumble.
Nice,
Oh,
nice.
you just lost the passion, the honor.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my sense of my own station is getting pretty low.
Yeah. You're gonna be like a rebel that lead a peasant uprising or something.
Yeah.
All right.
Gonna
Well,
show
this
up
is
in
good.
Camelot reading Antonio Gramsci or something.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you so much for playing. I hope it was really fun. We don't want to get too crazy and too long. We can, I feel like sometimes you guys get carried away and you want to play Pendragon all day. This is a good this is a good stopping point. It's pretty fun. You had the rude King Nim of the Castle of Salt who stole some stuff for you, but you did manage to save the Bible.
Yes.
Mhm.
King Leo de Grance. But King Leo de Grance is sometimes known as a generous person who has many things already. So we'll see how that goes. And
I might tell him about the bridle and that I misspoke and told that king that it was for you, but I think that's why he kept it.
right. Well,
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, and this count might even already be allied with King Lot, so you know.
yeah, the guy
It's
who
okay.
it was for. In any case, yeah, and then you spent about 5 days through the forest of Arden and survived despite a potential picked ambush, but some energy from Sir Clarion and a cause of alarm. Though it wasn't an easy battle until you found your footing and you
Mhm.
defeated them. All right, and now you're in Caraway's. Caraway's, you probably will get it. You can smell the meat cooking as you approach. So at least you know you will get a good meal here in this castle. All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. Any questions or comments?
Nope. I just hope that our fashions are still there. Let me pull mine up one more time so that you can see them. My
Oh yeah,
passion.
it's a good. Yeah, take a screenshot so we know what the passions are.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll try.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so.
playing, Arlen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks for running, Carl.
Yeah, no problem. And until we see you next time in Pendragon, in the world of King Arthur Pendragon from Chaosium. Good night and good rolling.
Good night.